Hello everyone, welcome to the next lesson in Power Apps course. In previous video we have learnt about SharePoint basics, and in this video we will learn about how we can add different data sources in Power Apps. We all know that whenever we want to create a new application for any technology, we have to first understand about on which platform we are going to develop that application. That platform should have some kind of backend databases with the help of which we can perform different CRUD operation on those databases. For example, in my previous video, we have talked about SharePoint. SharePoint is one of the database where we can store the data in the form of list or libraries. Similarly, in Power Apps development, SharePoint is a basic data source or mostly used data source, and in this course also we are going to develop few applications as use cases, and we are going to use the SharePoint as database. So in this video, let's learn about how we can add different data sources in Power Apps. So I have opened my Power Apps Studio. So this is a fresh app, and if you remember in our previous videos, I have showed you where we can see the data sources added in the Power Apps. So if you see on the left navigation bar, there is one symbol of database. So on click of which you can add new databases or you can add existing databases. Now as this is a fresh app, you can see there is no data is added in this app. So let's add a SharePoint list. So to add a SharePoint database, just click on Add Data and search for SharePoint here. Then scroll down and you can see a standard connector which is SharePoint. So all these other connectors are either third-party connectors or which are not needed for now. So the most important connector in Power Apps development is this SharePoint connector. With the help of this standard SharePoint connector, we can add different data sources like SharePoint list and libraries in our Power Apps. So let's click on this SharePoint connector, and as soon as we click on it, it will ask you to select a connection. Now what is connection? It is basically a kind of a wrapper or a API which can allow you to connect with your backend data sources. Means it can basically talk with your SharePoint via Power Apps. So in this case, I have my default connection added already. And if you don't see any connection here, just click on add connection and it will prompt you some login window. Just click on connect and it will then ask you to log in with that new connection. So as I have already logged in, I don't need to do this. So I'll just search for SharePoint, select the connector, select the connection. Then you have to enter the SharePoint URL. Now, in my previous video, we have created this leave app SharePoint site. So I have to provide this URL, or if you are able to see the recent sites, so I can see the recent site is leave app, which I can directly click here, or I can provide the link over here. So for now, I will just provide the link instead of directly selecting from recent sites. I will provide the link of the SharePoint site and click on connect. Then it will list down all the existing SharePoint lists and libraries present in my SharePoint site. So if you go to the SharePoint and click on site contents, you can see there are few default SharePoint libraries and some lists. So this is our custom list that we have created in our earlier video. Now the requirement is that I have to add this SharePoint list in my Power Apps. So you can see that SharePoint list is here. So I can check that checkbox and click on connect. As soon as I do that, my list will get added as a data source in Power Apps. So it was very simple to add this list. Similarly, if you want to add a SharePoint document library, just search for SharePoint connector again, select that connector, select a connection, provide the link. So I can select this leave app, and now you can see these two document libraries. I can select them, or I can select multiple document libraries as well, and I can click on connect. In this way, all my two document libraries and one SharePoint list got added. Now, if you want to view the data from this SharePoint list, we can quickly add one gallery, vertical gallery, let's say, and instead of this default items property, just provide the list name. Now, as soon as I type EMPL, it give me an intelligence to select the employee information list. And you see that as soon as I added that list, all my items got listed in this gallery. So if I go to my employee information list, we can see I have three items which got shown in this gallery. In this way, we have successfully added our first data source in Power Apps. Going forward, we are going to use this data source to perform a CRUD operation on this list. Now, for those who don't know what is CRUD operation, it is basically create, read, update, and delete. CRUD. So if I want to add a new item in this list, that means I have to create an item. If I want to update the item, I will use different functions in Power Apps to update the item. If I want to remove the item, I can use a function called as remove function to remove this item from this database. Or even I can read. So read is already done, so we are able to read these items. So this CRUD operation we are going to perform in our upcoming videos. So let's add another data source, which is Excel. To add an Excel database, just search for Excel. Now you will see a list of connectors, or a list of, yeah, these are connectors, a list of connectors which you can use to add Excel sheet. So if you see Excel online business, so this is a connector which allows you to connect Excel sheets from your SharePoint, OneDrive, um, Office 365 groups. But for now, we just need to add one static Excel sheet from my local system into my Power Apps. In actual scenarios, we are not going to use this import from Excel, because why one should develop an app which do not have a dynamic database, because this Excel database is kind of a static database where you cannot add or update the items in that Excel sheet. So just for a demonstration purpose, I will use this connector, and as soon as I select that, you can see that it asked me to select a Excel sheet. So I have one Excel sheet. I can click on open, and there I have one table in that Excel sheet, so which I can click on select. Before selecting that, let me show you that Excel sheet from my local system. So this is that Excel sheet where we have a few different columns like order date, region, items, units, unit cost, and total. And this is a table. So you can see that table name is table 1. And this table 1, we are able to see it here. So if your Excel sheet do not have a data in table format, the Power App will not able to read that data. For example, if you see, my Excel has some data in this sheet, my links, as well as some data in this instruction sheet, but it is not able to read the data from these two sheets. It is only able to read the data from the sales order, because it has this table formatted data. If I would have another table here, then the table name would be, let's say, table 2. It would have prompted me to select two different tables, table 1 and table 2. I can select any of them or both of them, and I can connect them. So let's for now connect this table 1. And as soon as I clicked on that, you can see that it has imported my Excel sheet from my local system, and the data source name is table 1. So if I now provide the gallery data as table 1, you can see that data which we were seeing in that Excel sheet here. Okay, this data. In this way, we have successfully added SharePoint and Excel databases. We have other lot of databases. For example, if you want to connect to SQL Server, you can add that as well. Then you can connect to different Dataverse tables. So these are Dataverse tables. We are going to talk about Dataverse in our upcoming videos. It is advanced database tightly integrated with Power Platform. Then even you can add some third-party connectors like Gmail, okay, or Google Drive as well. So in this way, we can add different data sources in Power Apps and we can work them to develop our applications as per the requirements. I hope you are now understood about how to add different data sources in Power Apps. In the next lecture, we are going to learn about how we can customize the default SharePoint list form in Power Apps. Till then, thanks for watching. Please let me know in case if you have any doubts in the comment section. Please subscribe to this channel so that you will get notified about our upcoming videos. And finally, thanks for watching.